This week, Avatar: The Way of Water, we went to go see it in IMAX 3D and we're discussing if should you go or should you not. Alright, how you doing today? It's Just Jess here. Hope you're having a good day, and today, yes. So we got the movie Avatar: The Way of Water. Is this movie worth going in IMAX 3D? Honestly, yes. This is a must. Why? Because the movie literally was filmed using IMAX cameras. Not just filmed, it was also made for IMAX. Here on this channel, I like to go with the best premium format, so now we got a movie that you actually should have to go see it. They also invented new underwater technology. This is why the sequel took so long to make. Hence, first one I saw when I was a junior after taking my finals in Wheeling High School. If you also have a theater that supports it, some of them also with this new format have a high frame rate technology, which is double the frames like you ever played a video game. They did this with The Hobbit. However, for this movie, it is definitely improvement over The Hobbit. And some people think it looks weird. Remember, this is an improvement over that, so it doesn't look that weird if you're fortunate enough to have a theater even playing in that format. Underwater scenes 3D are fully utilized. They're not just gimmicks, especially underwater. And literally, second to the third act, that's where the most of the movie takes place, above water, underwater. So to get this for the IMAX 3D, you need to fully utilize it, which the movie really does. Also, when you go see it in IMAX, you're not just getting the 3D, hence IMAX 3D, you also get the tall expanded images coming from the left to the right and also up and down ratios when you're watching the movie in the theaters. This is also a visually stunning movie, and the movie cinematography is a sight to behold. With that out of the way, guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you in this review. Remember when we talked about Dune last year with Timothée Chalamet? You know, that big spectacle of a movie with Arrakis? I feel like this is another leap forward than that, because when Dune came out, yeah, it was breathtaking, it was an amazing experience, it was awesome, it was jaw-dropping. However, Avatar: The Way of Water takes that same formula but applies colors, it goes underwater, it goes on top, and also 3D. A lot of people don't like to go see movies in the premium format, and I get that and I understand you, but for me, for my love for the theaters and for doing this YouTube channel, I can never downgrade. It's like this quote saying, you know, you don't sell it for less when you know you deserve the best. So to me, I have to go see it, and finally we have a movie that is gripping, that you should go see it in IMAX 3D or even Dolby 3D if you have that. But seeing this movie in a regular format or just IMAX or not just Dolby without the 3D, I feel like you would be doing a disservice not watching this in that premium format. Guys, this is literally James Cameron. This is why the movie took so long. And to be honest with you, the 3D is not just a gimmick. They fully utilize it. Visually stunning scenes that we will talk about in a minute, especially underwater, in the air, on top of the water, and just the fights in general. This is not a gimmick. Like, absolutely not. Like, they wasted so much time and money and research probably developing these types of techniques to film underwater, hence Way of the Water, Avatar. So after the sky people come back, they infiltrate the forest to find Jake Sully from the first movie, because now he's in his fully avatar, he doesn't need his human body. They also try to get revenge for what happened in the first movie. They also want some precious item that costs like $80 million, which I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's not a story that we haven't seen before, it's just a James Cameron twist and spin on it. So after that, he thinks he needs to battle them. When the first battle doesn't go so well, he has to, like, I don't want to say he runs away, but he goes to travel to another colonization, another village, to get to the Way of the Water and hope that they don't find him there. They're like, oh, well, he's gone, we're not gonna stop like chasing him. Well, no, that's really bad, because they're gonna chase him no matter what. Like, you really think people from the first movie are gonna stop? And I'm not gonna say who returns, if someone returns, how they return, who's hunting him now, because those are spoilers and this is not a spoiler review, so we are not gonna talk about that. So their family has to learn the Way of the Water, and now we get into like the best visual, stunning, spectacle, amazing, breathtaking the scenes of the movie, because literally the second act going into the third act, it's mostly underwater, on top of the water. Especially when you see underwater, there's like plants, there's animals, there's lifelike, like there's a lot of visual spectacle to behold, not just on the water and like the surface. It's also underneath the water as well. And seeing this in IMAX 3D, that's why I keep telling, like, this was made for IMAX 3D. And it's cool to see the other tribe, because yeah, they look a little bit different and you'll see a little nuances on there. That's this big chunk of the movie. So even though the runtime is like 3 hours and 15 minutes, the first act is like, honestly, like 50 minutes, and then they start training for the underwater. And why is there a need to be rushed for a movie like this that we haven't seen in a long time, in hours? It is amazing visual spectacle part of a movie, breathtaking underwater scenes, the lights when it goes to neon, when it goes to dark, the eclipses, the other characters that we meet that we'll talk in a second. Like all of this is phenomenal. Like I was such in awe of the world that I was in IMAX 3D. And keep in mind, definitely an improvement from the first movie that took so long. And some of them, it's like, bro, like some of them were, it's bizarre because all the underwater technology, sometimes the camera is literally tilted towards the water and the bottom. And I'm just like, wow, this is so hard to do. Like, how did they do this technology? Which I'm really glad I waited to go see this. And I'm glad that I'm alive. It's just that you are watching. It's like, this is awesome. You know, and of course, there's some high school fights. His family, he has like sons and daughters. Hence, you seen on the trailer that fight the other tribe's sons and daughters. It's like a cool high school mix. It's like teen drama. I'm like, and there's some likeness going on, some attraction. And I thought that was pretty cool. And it's also a nice banter between both of the tribes because Jake Sully just takes his wife and his kids. That's it. The other tribe, the forest tribe, they stay there. And it's like a big ocean spectacle to behold. Like creatures, how they navigate with the creatures, how they swim. We introduced to new animals, which is amazing because it really enhances the Na'vi, which Jake Sully came because he's from the forest. So now he has to learn the ocean. Can he do it? Can his family do it? This is like rest of the movie, which I did find in jaw dropping off because it's like they're not going to stop chasing him, the sky people. Sam Worthington, sorry if I'm not getting that name right, returns as Jake Sully as well as Sully Zaldana as Naitari, but feels like she has less screen time than the first one. Yeah, she's amazing in this, but I feel like she only has like good moments backing up her mans and killing the enemies of the people. Like the first one, she was really inaugurated in the part of the story, especially Jake's life. Not saying that she's not in here, but it feels like the story is trying to wave in new characters because we also get introduced to Kate Winslet and Cliff Curtis are cool because they are the leaders of the underwater or the ocean Na'vi clan. Like those are the separate, like Jake Sully, Dokmakdo or something. I don't know how to say that name right, Dokmakdo, that way that Na'vi describes it. So they're meeting with another leader, and it's this concept back and forth, like who's stronger, who's not. Can you be cool with each other? Can our kids get along? Can the tribe like you? Can you learn our ways? And it's the rest of this movie. There's no like the pacing issues aside, like the movie takes its time, which is not bad because we need to see everything. This is a 3 hour and 15 minutes, and some of you are paying like $20 for an IMAX ticket, 3D basically, or 24 with tax. Not even that because there's other other goodies that you want to buy. So it's like, why should we need to rush this movie? And plus, we're going to the holiday weekend. You might see this review, might not thinking of going, but after you hopefully see this review, like damn, like yeah, IMAX 3D is amazing to go see this movie. Now, let's be clear. If you didn't like the first one, then I don't think you'll like the second one. This is another worthy advancement sequel with deeper thought, bigger meanings, bigger world buildings. Like yeah, sometimes, and he said that in Twitter or Instagram or whatever that you would go see it twice. I would go see it twice because it's just a lot to behold. Like sometimes I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is happening. I get a little overwhelmed. Like I get confused, but not like in terms of overwhelming like bad. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this is happening. He's fighting this guy, the underwater scene with this creature. There is just a lot to say, see, and to be told. And when he says to go see it a second time, I was like, yeah, you should, because it's just a lot. You know, it's just way too much to cram in the one sitting. Like even for me, like I'm trying to describe it to you the best of my ability as I can before like ruining anything. So the third act, of course, we have a battle sequence. The sky people come to destroy Jake Sully, and to be honest, it's like an all-out battle between the ships, between the Na'vi, between their other crew members, between the other like colonization, the villages on top of the water, and the flights on top of the water, underneath the water, on the ship. It's like water, the way of water is really ingrained into this story. Like they use the water as protection, they use the water as an offense and defense. It is really cool what James Cameron and this movie, what it did for the way of water in Avatar in IMAX 3D when we're looking at it in the terms of film when we are in the theater. Although to be honest with you, there is some emotional, heartbreaking scenes that happen towards this movie, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe the movie did that to us, because I thought Avatar was like everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be happy, but they have like a different emotional arc, which I really was a fan of. I mean, yeah, it's sad when it happens, but I'm just like, wow, the movie really went there, and that's just shows you the stakes. And yeah, it leads it to open ending to a third Avatar movie, which we know there's like 5 of them, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, if they're just gonna keep retreading this, because this is a good improvement, but I don't think it's the amazing sequel that everyone's really talking about. I mean, I did like it, I did have fun with it, and I will go see it again, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, it is in the top 10 list of this year, especially in IMAX 3D or Dolby 3D. If you watch this in regular cinema and not with the 3D, hence the good IMAX or Dolby 3D, I don't think you'll get the same experience as we did. I'm gonna give this movie a B+. I thought this was an amazing visual spectacle, breathtaking movie, especially in IMAX 3D. The underwater scenes definitely was worth the wait. So that's gonna be it for me today. If you stick around this far, I appreciate you so much. Maybe hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye.